RC Fans Racing 393. So this is after the event now, so we took this out for a speed run and it didn't quite go so well, only 35 miles an hour. I think one or two things, like I said, I could throw money at it. We can get a better speed controller that can manage more power maybe. This is a really old vintage motor. I say old, but it looks in reasonably good condition, but I don't know the full story about this motor. I've got a feeling I put new brushes in. I don't know, but I think what I might have to try is we're going to take the motor apart. We'll have a look at it, and then we'll decide from there. And then either put another motor in it, or maybe it could be like it needs a smaller pinion, because some of these motors only work at a certain RPM, and it could be that it's not allowing the gearings, it's not allowing it to spur up. I don't know. It could be, or it's just knackered. Basically, it could be really simple. So I'm gonna take the motor out. And I will take the wires off here, and we'll just go from there. We're going to see what's best. So this is the motor out. It's a modified Reedy Krypton. I did get the spec of this. It's in reasonably good condition, but for some reason it just does not seem to be performing like it should. I can't remember I can't see the pinion. The pinion's not loose, and there's nothing wrong with that. The teeth. I mean, the pinion's is in good condition, as you can see there. I can't remember the amount of teeth on there, but I've got a feeling this is not far. I can't go much bigger than that because it won't fit through. So I think that's about it for the teeth size. I can go down. There's not much. I mean, you can feel the magnets there, so yeah, I think these need to be a little bit longer. These wires, I think they're a little bit, it's a bit tight, but there is also timing marks on here, which I can see here. So my understanding is it can be advanced, which is something I might do anyway. So I think the first thing to do, let's get the brushes out. Let's see what condition those brushes are. It does get hot though, this, for some reason, this motor. Yeah. So the brushes, I've got a feeling these brushes were kind of fairly new. Let's take some off whilst I'm sort of doing it on the camera here. It's always a bit fiddly. So that's out. So there's the spring. It's fairly easy how that goes together. Let's pull the brush out. So they're really good brushes. There's no reason at all why they should not work. They have worn in. I did put new ones on. So let's take the other one out. Like that. Yeah, I mean, they look good. So there's nothing wrong with those brushes. So I think the next thing I might need to perhaps look at, taking the end bell off. Yeah, let me try that. Is it fiddly? Got a mark where it's gone though, haven't I? So I don't really want that. We've got a dot there. And we've got these lines. It might be over advanced. I might have put it back in the wrong place. But anyway, let's... I mean, it does need to go that way then. So looking at those marks, so there's one there. I'll just show you again. And that is lined up. There's a mark on the motor body, and there's a mark here. But that looks like it could be over advancing, which that would make it run hot. Maybe that's why. Maybe I need to undo it and wind it back to nearly standard or something like that. Again, let's take some of these off. I think that's them there, isn't it? Yeah, got a feeling that's... See, that easily moved now. So I'm wondering whether it should be there. And I've put it there or somewhere in between. I've got a feeling that's probably what it is. Let me, because it's quite fiddly, I'll take it off camera and I'll be straight back. Taking it apart, I've had a quick look at it. I've got to be careful. They've got at the end, the rotor there, the armature, they've got like some specific washers and spacers. I think that looks okay. I mean, it's got good contact on the, is it commutator? Armature? I can't remember what it's called. I was going to take that out. I was going to take the whole thing out. But what I didn't want to do is disturb the pinion at the moment, because it's set so it meshes correctly with the gears in the gearbox, and it's an enclosed gear casing, so you can't see where that needs to go. I think you've got to use a specific spacer, which I did for the M05 chassis. And I'm going to leave that on there. I might put a bit of grease on there if anything before I put it back in, but I'm going to leave it like this. Everything looks okay. I just think it might be over advancing. I'm going to put it back together. And also what I have got is some bearing oil. I'm going to just put some of that on the end just to sort of free it up a little bit. So let's put this back together. So that's a bit fiddly getting that back on, but it is on there now. Although saying that, I now can't move it. That's better. I've got it fitted better now. So that to me would seem, if it is indeed changeable, I don't even know, could be wrong. So I think we'll start off. I'm using that line there. We can nip these up. Do not over tighten them because they'll easily be stripped. It doesn't have to be held on immensely, but you do want some like that. But there's no way that's going to move. Now that's, to me, turning it clockwise and moving these marks here. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 specific marks, and that's a mark on the casing on that side. If I turn it over, it's standard. It's pointing towards that divot there, but this side has got a little line on it, and it does line up. It's got 0. I'm guessing that could be 1, 2, 4 degrees. I'm just guessing. I'll call it 4 degrees. It's now on 0 degrees advanced, so it's standard. That could be the reason. So I think let's just put a tiny, I don't want to put a lot of oil in there for obvious reasons, but on the end, got a bull race on the end there, which we just put a tiny bit, a drop on there. Like that. You can't see that. Like that there. And an equally small amount. I keep moving it because I can't see with the camera. There you go. Okay, so that's all back together. I'm going to put the springs back in. I'll do that. I'll say it on camera, but you know, I think it's a bit awkward doing things in front of the camera because I keep moving it so I can see it. The camera's kind of in the way, so my own hands are in the way. That holds the brush against the commutator. Good. So I was going to put some other wiring on there, but I don't know. I'm going to assume that maybe the reason it was going super hot and not performing was it was too far advanced. So I'm going to put some oil back on this, a bit of grease. I'm going to wipe the inside of the gearbox down. And then clearly these holes around here are sort of determining where those 2 screws go. It also depends, I suppose, how tight you have this meshing. So I'm going to do that off camera and get it back in. We should better sort of turn it back on and fire it back up, and just to see if it makes any difference being on a lower setting on the timing on here. I mean, I can remember what it sort of sounds like. And then we can get it back out. I'm just going to put some of this in. I think it's from China. I don't know what it is. Wear resistance lubrication. I've used it before. I'm sure it'll be fine. So it's all back together. I've just got to put some tie wraps around things and tidy things up. I don't really notice much difference. I sort of messed around with the settings a little bit on there. I've got a little bit more braking on there now. I think that puts a lot of strain on the motor, but I'll just demonstrate. I mean, it is quick. And when you do the braking, I mean, it's sparking out that motor. I'm not sure it should be doing that. Has it got reverse? We'll give it a go. It's not as advanced as it was. I've got it on the other setting now, unless that's advanced and that was standard and this is advanced. I don't know. We'll see if it's any different or any problems. It's keeping the heat down, isn't it? Because these 1060 hobby wings are just not designed for this turn motor. Maybe, just maybe, what I might have to do is get a decent speed controller so that it can take a little bit more power, especially the motor. I would need one that can take a lower turn motor. I think these only go down to like, I don't even know, what is it? I'll look it up. If you know, you know, but you know, is it like 15 turns or something? This is a triple turn. Yeah, and that's hot now. That comms is really hot. And it shouldn't be. You probably find the motor's knackered. I think we're going to be pretty much in the same ballpark. I think if it doesn't work this time, I will put another motor on there and a different speed controller. The motor, I'll just put a different vintage brushed, but I'm going to put a different speed controller on there. I'll hunt around for one that's not costing me the earth, and we'll see what we can do on it. Okay, so we're here and we've got the LiPo, and then we're going to put a NIM, normal standard battery, in it and see and compare the difference direct. Not expecting anything else other than 35 or 36 mile an hour, 35 I think it was. It won't take me long anyway, so. We turn the motor down. So it's already playing up. So only did 30 miles an hour. Yeah, 30. So what I'm going to do, and it's really hot already, so I'll change it to the NIM and we'll go from there. Right, doesn't sound much quicker, to be honest. That diff's slipping again. Yeah, 31 miles an hour. I don't know why. Something's loose now. That's the pinion. So the pinion must have come loose. That's what that noise was. That's probably why it's not so either the pinion's loose or well, it's working still. No, it isn't. Back to the drawing board again. All these videos end up with nothing. Oh well, it is what it is. I haven't got any tools on me at the moment. Yeah, okay, so I think we'll come back to the drawing board yet again and go from there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching again, and I'll catch up with you next time. It takes longer to charge it up than it does anything else. I wonder what it got actually. Well, we got 34 miles an hour, but I'm pretty sure that there's more in it than that. There's obviously something slipping. It might have even done the gears. I won't know until I strip it down. It'll be on the next video anyway. Anyway, that's it for now. And I'll see you on the next video. Hopefully we get some success. Bye for now.